Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of supercentenarians.
Supercentenarians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people who live to be 110 years or older.
That's right.
And for this deep dive, we're looking at a document that compiled information about the top 10 oldest living people as of late October 2023.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tough list to keep track of.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating stuff.
Yeah. So the list says that the oldest person in the world at that time was Maria Brañas Morera at 116 years old,
Wow.
living in Spain. But get this, she was actually born in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
So longevity really does cross all borders. Huh?
It really does. And you'll notice as we go through this list that a significant number of these individuals are from Japan.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, 6 out of the 10 are Japanese.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that has to be more than just a coincidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there something in the water over there?
Well, researchers have been asking that question for a while now. While genetics certainly plays a role, there's growing evidence that lifestyle and cultural factors in Japan contribute to their longevity.
I see.
For example, they have a concept called ikigai, which translates roughly to a reason for being.
A reason for being.
It's about finding purpose in life.
I love that. Yeah, having even if you're not shooting for 110, having a purpose sounds like a recipe for a fulfilling life at any age.
Absolutely. And their diet plays a role, too.
Okay.
They practice something called hara hachibu, which means eating until you're about 80% full.
Interesting.
It's all about mindful eating.
Mindful eating. So maybe we should all be taking notes from the Japanese.
Right.
So before we move on down this list,
Yeah.
can you tell us a bit more about the whole process of verifying someone's age when they're this old? I mean, it can't be as easy as checking their driver's license at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Organizations like the Gerontology Research Group, GRG for short, they take on the task of verifying these ages. And it's a meticulous process. They rely on things like birth certificates, census records, and sometimes even family testimonials to ensure the accuracy of their data.
Oh, wow. So they really do their homework.
They do. It's quite a bit of detective work sometimes, especially in regions where record keeping wasn't as detailed back then.
I bet. I mean, trying to track down records from over a century ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the GRG employs rigorous standards to ensure the information is as accurate as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's also interesting to think about the fact that this list, as amazing as it is, only represents the people who are known to have reached this incredible age.
That's right.
There could be others out there who have chosen to keep their age private for whatever reason.
Oh, absolutely. Not everyone wants to be in the spotlight, even if they've reached such a milestone.
Right.
And that's totally understandable.
Yeah. So it's really like a glimpse into a hidden world,
Yeah.
When we look at this list, we have to remember that it's not just about numbers. There are real people behind those names and ages, each with their own unique story.
Absolutely. And I think as we continue down this list, you'll find yourself even more fascinated by the lives and experiences of these incredible individuals.
Well, I'm hooked. Let's get back to it. After Maria, we have Tomiko Ito from Japan at 115 years old,
Okay.
followed by Edie Ceccarelli from the United States, also at 115.
Amazing. It's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The fact that people from different parts of the world can achieve such longevity.
It really makes you wonder, what are the factors that contribute to such a long life?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 115 years old,
I think about it.
they've lived through so much history. It's mind-boggling. And it makes you wonder, how rare is it to live this long?
Supercentenarians are exceedingly rare.
Okay.
We're talking about a very small fraction of the global population.
Wow.
And reaching each additional year after 110 is like beating incredible odds. The percentage of individuals who survive each subsequent year decreases dramatically.
That's a really sobering thought.
It is.
It makes those additional years all the more remarkable.
It really does make you realize just how precious each year is, especially at that age.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so moving down the list, next we have Ina Evelyn Daniel from Australia at 113 years old.
It's fascinating how we're seeing supercentenarians from all over the world. Europe, North America, Asia,
Yeah.
and now Australia.
It really highlights that this isn't just a regional phenomenon.
Right.
And speaking of global representation, following Ina, we have Shigenaka, also at 113 years old, from, you guessed it, Japan.
That's right. 5 out of the 7 people we've talked about so far who are from Japan.
Wow.
Researchers have been studying this for a while now, trying to understand why Japan has such a high concentration of supercentenarians.
Yeah.
It seems like there's something in their culture, lifestyle, or even their environment that's contributing to these long lifespans.
It makes you wonder if there are lessons we can all learn from them regardless of where we live. Maybe some of their practices or habits can help us all live healthier and longer lives.
I think that's a really important point. Studying supercentenarians isn't just about marveling at their age.
Right.
It's about trying to understand the factors that contribute to their longevity so that maybe, just maybe, we can apply some of that knowledge to our own lives.
Absolutely. Okay, let's continue. Next on the list is Hazel Plummer from the United States, also at 113 years old.
Okay.
It's interesting that we have 3 people in a row, all at the same age.
Yeah, it highlights just how difficult it is to reach those extra years beyond 110. Remember, the odds of survival decrease dramatically with each passing year at that age.
Yeah.
It's a testament to their resilience and strength.
It really makes you appreciate the extraordinary nature of reaching such an advanced age.
It does.
Okay, next we have Masazo Nonaka from, surprise, surprise, Japan at 112 years old.
That's right, making it 6 out of 8 from Japan.
Wow.
And it's not just a handful of individuals. Japan, as a country, boasts a higher average life expectancy than many other nations.
So it's not just about celebrating these individuals.
Right.
But also understanding what Japan is doing as a society that seems to promote longevity. Are there things in their healthcare system, their social structures, or their environment that contribute to this trend?
Those are all questions that researchers are trying to answer. And the more we understand about these factors, the better equipped we'll be to create environments and policies that promote healthy aging for everyone.
I love that perspective. It's not just about individual choices, but also about creating a world where people have the opportunity to live longer, healthier lives.
Exactly. Okay, continuing down our list, we have Ethel May from Canada, also at 112 years old. And then we have Lucille Randon from France, again at 112. And rounding out our top 10 is Satsuki Yoshikawa from, you guessed it,
Japan.
Still 112 years old.
So our deep dive into this list definitely confirms that Japan is a bit of a longevity hotspot.
It seems that way.
But it's important to remember that these individuals are more than just numbers on a list.
Right.
They each have their own unique life stories.
You're absolutely right. Imagine the things they've seen and experienced over more than a century of life. The historical events, the societal changes, the technological advancements. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And each of those experiences has shaped them into the individuals they are today.
It makes you wonder if there are common threads that run through their lives.
Yeah.
Things like personality traits, lifestyle choices, or social connections that might have contributed to their exceptional longevity. Maybe there's a secret formula hidden within their stories.
There's definitely a growing body of research looking into that very question. Some studies suggest that supercentenarians tend to be resilient, optimistic, and adaptable. They often have strong social connections and a sense of purpose in life.
It makes sense, right? To live for over a century, you'd have to have a certain level of inner strength and a positive outlook on life.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that this research is still in its early stages. There's so much more to discover about the factors that contribute to exceptional longevity.
Yeah, it really is fascinating. It's like they hold the keys to a long and fulfilling life, and we're just starting to figure out how to unlock those secrets.
It really is a fascinating field of study, and what's so exciting is that it's not just about biology or genetics. It draws from psychology, sociology, history, all sorts of disciplines.
It makes sense, right? To understand something as complex as longevity, you'd have to look at it from every angle.
Absolutely.
Well, we've journeyed through this list of the top 10 oldest people back in October 2023, and I gotta say, it's been a real eye-opener for me.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that this list is just a snapshot in time.
Right.
A moment frozen in the constantly changing landscape of supercentenarians.
Right. As we mentioned earlier, people on this list might not still be with us. And new individuals might have joined the ranks of supercentenarians since then. It's like this never-ending puzzle that's always changing.
Exactly. And as new information emerges, it's crucial to consult reputable sources like the Gerontology Research Group for the most up-to-date and accurate data.
For sure. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of supercentenarians, what are some key takeaways we can reflect on?
Well, first, I think it's vital to recognize the sheer rarity of reaching 110 or older. It's a feat that challenges our ideas about the limits of human lifespan. These individuals are truly exceptional.
It makes you realize that the human body is capable of amazing things, even in the face of aging.
Absolutely. And secondly, I think we should appreciate the complexities involved in tracking and verifying ages as people reach these advanced years. Organizations like the GRG play a crucial role in ensuring accuracy, but the process is constantly evolving.
Yeah. It's a good reminder to be wary of information from unreliable sources.
For sure. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, studying supercentenarians isn't just about crunching numbers. It's about delving into the multitude of factors that might contribute to their long lives.
Yeah, it's about looking at their stories, their lifestyles, their personalities, all those pieces that make up their extraordinary lives.
Precisely. And perhaps in doing so, we might uncover insights that could help us all lead longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives.
Well said. Well, as we conclude this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question. What factors, beyond just genetics, do you think play a role in reaching such a remarkable age? Is it diet, social connections, attitude, or maybe a combination of everything? What do you think?
That's the million-dollar question, and one that researchers are actively exploring. We encourage you to dive deeper into this fascinating field, explore the latest research, and perhaps even learn about the personal stories of some of these inspiring individuals.
Yeah, who knows? You might uncover some secrets to a longer, more fulfilling life for yourself. Remember, the world of supercentenarians is constantly changing, so stay curious and keep exploring. Until next time, happy deep diving.